A pleasant good evening from Madtown tonight, where we bring you a primetime tussle in USL League One between the rookies and the veterans of the division. Forward Madison hosting the newcomers in New York Cosmos, and tonight's match is presented by Dairyland Insurance. Hello from Bree Stevens Field alongside Ryan Davis. I'm Sam Goldfarb. Let's get a look at the League One table presented by Dairyland Insurance. As things stand, Forward Madison looking to keep pace around the playoff line, just a point shy of FC Naples. Meanwhile, New York Cosmos, they are 11 points shy of playoff pace at the moment, just desperate for 3 points. And well, Ryan, for Madison, a long spell away from home to begin the season, but churning out results at home now.
But actually playing away from home can be a good thing at the beginning of the season. The team gets to gel on the road and it really starts to show up towards the end of the season when they've gelled and they're playing at home and starting to get points coming down the stretch.
It is a Forward Madison side that has managed 4 points from their last two. A big part of the success for the course of the last few months, Stephen Norgiamfi.
4 goals already this season, but I tell you what, he has to score tonight to give this Madison team and let them keep pace. They have to turn 3 points tonight at home against a weak team. It's on his shoulders.
On the opposite end of things, for New York Cosmos, 6 league matches without a win, haven't won since early April.
All right, you know, when things go wrong, they go horribly wrong. And from front to back, this Cosmos team are basically clueless defensively. They are leaking goals, 9 goals in the last 5 matches. And when that happens, it becomes contagious and the locker room starts to breathe.
Defensively, they have struggled, but going forward, there are some bright spots, the brightest of which is Ajmer Spangler.
Well, I tell you what, 4 assists, 6 goals in 11 appearances. He's a creative midfielder, but he can also arrive in the box late and finish. He's really a spark in midfield, and let's hope his goals, his assists can spur this team on.
Also ranked second in the league in chances created. Just about ready to get everything underway here from Madison. It is Forward Madison and New York Cosmos locking horns when we return lineups and kickoff from Bree Stevens Field. Stick with us.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Kick your excitement into high gear with the Nissan Kicks. Zimbrick Nissan. Find more kicks to choose from. Zimbrick Nissan. From people who know kicks inside and out. Zimbrick Nissan at the best kicks price. Zimbrick Nissan. Save more and shop more selection at Zimbrick Nissan, Madison's favorite Nissan dealer. Get a Kicks with Nissan Safety Shield 360 and intelligent all-wheel drive. At Zimbrick Eastside off High Crossing. Best of Madison and People's Choice winner 2024.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Time to get a look at our starting lineups. For Forward Madison, the acting head coach Patrick Nyako trots out this 11.
I'll tell you what, you have Torre at the back, and Ryan Carmichael is actually one of those players that can have a factor tonight. You have 2 Carmichaels on the field tonight. The one at the back is going to go head-to-head with Gwenzati. That should be a heck of a show. Now, Torres and Castro, that creative spark from deep in midfield. Manjoma, hard worker, he's going to provide that with for Carmichael Gebhardt and Honor Diamfi. to try and get some service to them.
On the opposite end of things, for Davide Corti, he makes 3 changes from that defeat at Knoxville last week.
Well, I tell you what, Garcia gave up 2 of the 3 goals against Knoxville, and the game was 2-1 at the time when he gave it up. Understandably, if Chan gets the nod, first starts this April. Holt is going to be a factor with his aerial dominance. Mendonca Ciudad, the Dutchman, is going to have to be excellent in the midfield. Spengler, all the pressure on him and Cabrera to create for Guenzati, to hopefully they get a goal and keep in front.
Just about ready to get everything underway. It is New York Cosmos in their yellow away strips. They'll be going from left to right on your screen. Meanwhile, Forward Madison for the 2nd consecutive match. Their alternate kits in celebration of June's Dairy Month. They'll be going from right to left. And we are underway from Breese Stevens Field. 2nd meeting between these 2 sides. The first a draw. We'll see what this one has for us. Sam Goldfarb, Ryan Davis on hand. And Ryan, for Madison, decent run of form through the opening 3 months. For New York Cosmos, anything but.
And this is so important. These early spells for Cosmos, when the score is 0-0, they have to find some sort of rhythm, get some confidence going, because that's the problem right now with the team in yellow. Everyone is down. Nobody wants to touch the ball. Their pressing is very weak, lifeless. These opening minutes, Seba Guenzati, the captain up front, has to set the tone for them and get their body language in the right direction.
Look over the top for Gebhard here. This is cleared away, albeit rather unconvincingly, and an early unforced error from the Cosmos. Well, fans, it's now time for tonight's keys to the game, which are presented by the Burish Group at UBS.
Well, Madison has to finish their chances. They have one of the lowest XGAs in the league. They have to convert the chances that are created for them. If they do that tonight, they're home and dry. NYC, they have to defend as a unit. They can't afford to get detached and become stretched. They have to stay as one. That makes them a lot harder to penetrate.
Early long throw opportunity for Ramon Torres and Madison. It's hoofed in. Beto away, only as far as Carmichael. Kashmir Spengler doing his defensive duties for the Cosmos. Carmichael, but far too tight on Derek Chen. Ryan mentioned it moments ago, making his first league start since April 3rd. Talking to Davide Corti, he's mentioned that the goalkeeping position has left a lot of confidence to be desired across the board. Javier Garcia dropped after a pair of mistakes last week against One Knox, and now a chance for Chan to make his mark.
Yeah, and that position is all about confidence. I mean, the goalkeeper, think of it as the pitcher on the mound in baseball. All the pressure is on him. He's the last man at the back. If it goes past him, it's a goal. So the keeper needs confidence. His back line has to bleed that to him and start to make his life a little bit easier. Let's see how that plays out in the opening 20 minutes here.
Another long ball forward. That was towards an Orgiamfi. Falls for Carmichael. Gebhardt. Wide. Manjoma looking for an angle to cross. Kami pressing. Still down on the deck at the moment. Right, an interesting season for Forward Madison. Opening the season, their first 7 league matches away from home. That the longest stretch to begin the season on the road. They open up their league home slate in late May, but you saw those numbers off the top. Just 2 goals conceded at Breese Stevens Field, and this is a team that is built on its defensive solidity.
Speaking of build, if you want to build a fortress, you have to start from the ground up. Defense first in the midfield, then you put the roof on top with your strikers. You've done it the right way. Take care of home, be hard to score on, keep the score at 0-0 for longer periods of time, and it gives yourself a chance to get a win at home with just 1 or 2 goals.
It's a great point you bring up, because on the subject of that, Matt Glazer, when talking to him earlier in the season, he mentioned that it's been about building from the defense forward. The goals will come. Gives us a chance to tell you that tonight's injury report is brought to you by UW Health Sports Medicine. None reported for Madison. Christian Kofi is out for Cosmos. And talking to Davide Corti, feels they lose a lot of 1v1 ability without him in the side. For a forward here for the Cosmos.
First touch for Guenzati. got a chance to see him for 5 long years in the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Talk about a selfless personality, and he has that Uruguayan stubbornness and industry. So he runs for the entire 90 minutes. He is a consummate team player, does whatever it takes with pressing, laying the ball off other players, and because of his fitness, he gets to the right place at the right time, and he has the technique, Sam, to finish in tight places.
Giamfi, that's a clever turn, and he's got a runner in support. Plays it forward towards Carmichael. A few footsteps behind it, and Davy Mason does the job defensively.
Well, you like to see this from the Cosmos. They finally start get stuck in at the back. Yes, they're backtracking, but here they step up. There's a recovery. And gives Chan, we talked about that confidence. Let Chan get his hand on the ball a couple times, get a feel for it, get settled in.
Jauna sent tumbling.
Sam, I think he sold it too much. I think he was fouled, but I think because he over-exaggerated the dive, I think the referee thought, well, then it must be a dive, when it actually was a foul.
What is that awkward balance that you have to toe when trying to sell a challenge versus over-exaggerate it? And that time Jauna may have done the latter.
I wish I could tell you the technique. It only comes from a lot of practice of diving.
Hopefully nobody practices it that much.
You know what? In scrimmages, when you feel that contact, your brain, you adjust your brain to go down rather than stay up on your feet. So yes, it is a practiced theory or art.
Cagnane, it's an accurate cross towards Giamfi, who finishes. Forward Madison pounds it in the back of the net 6 minutes in, but the flag is up and the goal will not stand.
Thank goodness with the offside rule. Holt was awful as the ball came across. Yes, he's known for his aerial dominance, but here Holt has to do better. Completely misses the ball and allows Jauna to score, but that doesn't give any confidence to Chan, doesn't give any confidence to the back line. And now the Cosmos have to find something going forward here.
Advantage for the Cosmos. This is Spengler, whose cross comes in, whips across the face, but too far for Guenzati. This is a rip-roaring start both ways.
I'm just astonished of Spengler. You look at him, you don't see anything that sort of stands out. Then he gets on the ball, and he's almost impossible to dispossess. There he runs into a crowd. The ball comes out of the crowd, right across the face of the goal.
Here's Kerfala Toure, the 11 for the better part of the last few weeks. Now Cagnane, who stood up, still down on the deck for Madison. It's a concerning sight. One of their more dynamic wingbacks prone on the pitch.
Sam, I figured it out. I'm looking at the dairy uniforms, and I'm thinking to myself, what does that remind me of? You know the Chick-fil-A commercials where the cows eat more beef? That's what it is. It's like a Chick-fil-A uniform.
By the way, I think it's eat more chicken.
Eat more chicken, sorry. Sorry, cows.
But yes, it is meant to be designed to look like a cow. In fact, in their caption, they labeled it Utterly Wisconsin. So very punny social media team. It's something Forward Madison's known for. Very personable on social media. Brought in fans in the local area that way.
I think it's free advertising for Chick-fil-A.
No, it's just very interesting how they think up to design this. You sit here and you're like, it's Dairy Month. Why don't we make a cow kid? It's you have to give major props to whoever thought that up.
Do you know what kind of state of mind you have to be to come up with the word cows when it comes to a creative marketing piece?
Well, hold on, they keep this in, and there's a real chance for Cosmos. Down at his near post to save. JT Harms denies Ashmir Spengler.
Well, we talked about Spengler arriving late in the box to get his goals. Here's another example. He's buying his time. He stays behind traffic, and he says, hello, here I am. Tries to tuck it in. Good technique, but just couldn't find the power.
JT Harms making his first stop, joining from North Texas in February. Cagnane. Here's Gebhard in the pockets of space and escorts it wide. Numbers for Madison here. Munjoma. Another cross in. Falls for Anor Giamfi. His pass is broken up. Not accurate enough.
Excellent job. They stay compact, stayed stubborn defensively. Now they go out wide. That's where the space is, and the rest of the team now can push up as a group. They have to stay as a group as long as possible and not get stretched. That's where holes appear, and that's where cows creep into the holes and create chances.
I take it this is going to be a running theme throughout the night.
Absolutely. And you know, cows are horrible with numbers on their backs. So this uniform, it carried over to the uniform. It's a commentator's nightmare. You can't see one number, even if you're standing 2 yards away from the shirt.
Finally, a prolonged period of possession for the Cosmos here. In the mix of all of this cow chaos, there is some news. Of course, Forward Madison had Matt Glazer sent off 15 minutes in to their fixture Wednesday night, as you get a look at the fans interacting with the cows at Breese Stevens Field.
Eat more chicken.
It's a full spectacle tonight.
You know, don't ever discount or discredit the cow night in Madison.
Kanyane. Sidul.
Love the defending at the back. It was a cushion header for the midfielder. Now Cosmos can begin the attack right here.
Spengler. Will be interesting to see how much the Cosmos settle on the ball. They don't want to get overly expansive, especially with the fact they've been leaking goals. You saw those numbers off the top. 27, by far the most allowed in the league. When you look at the numbers, XGA-wise, the Cosmos only a little north of 15 XGA-wise. It is by far the largest gap between XGA and actual goals conceded in the league. And Davide Corti, when talking to him this week in the lead up to this, was unbelievably frustrated with that reality.
But it's the exact opposite to Madison playing at home, building from the ground up. This Cosmos team has an excellent forward line with Spengler and Guenzati and company, but the back line is shaky at best. I wouldn't cross that bridge. That bridge will break in half. And with Chan, the goalkeeper, being in goal, I mean, you want your keeper to get some sort of confidence with a back line like that. That's so, let's call it Swiss cheese, with holes at the back. It is not easy to have a keeper with confidence get settled with a back line like that.
Guenzati, he was the headline signing, played for the second edition of the Cosmos a few years back.
And I'll take full credit for Swiss cheese because they are playing together.
More numbers for Madison. This cross towards Gebhard. Tracked down by Ramon Torres. Winchoma. Former Phoenix Rising standout USL Championship. This time muscled off it by Sidul. And there's numbers the other way now. Jauna.
Great ball by Sidul, by the way. Great ball.
Looks to switch the play. Falls kindly. Numbers in support. Sidul goes for goal and rockets it off the woodwork. It's a game of cat and mouse at the moment, and a real chance here.
Actually, Sidul, the Dutchman who started the play, he turns around and fires a rocket. Now listen, quick point here. Marcelo Bielsa, who's considered the teacher of football, El Profesor, he talked about the most important player on the field. That's a two-way midfielder. Sidul broke up the play, a fantastic pass out wide to Genoa. They started the counter-attack. He gets up into the box, almost finishes it. I mean, that is just all-round brilliance by the Dutchman.
You got your look at acting head coach Patrick Nyako moments ago. We mentioned it earlier. Matt Glazer sent off in the 15th minute Wednesday night against Fort Wayne. So the former MLS veteran, Patrick Nyako, who made well over 100 appearances with Chicago Fire and DC United, is leading leading Madison tonight, excuse me. The opposite number is, of course, someone who's a veteran presence of the coaching ranks in USL and beyond, in Davide Corti.
Sam, you got a chance to speak to him. He was pretty candid in your call.
He was very honest, and he said the problems start at the back, and ultimately it's about tightening that up first.
You know, I didn't realize. but the problems were started at the back.
They give it away here. Anor is in, and Anor, it's a tremendous save from Chan, who has neutralized one of those mistakes we discussed.
Well, that back line is going to have to buy Chan dinner for the rest of the week now. Fantastic save to save their blushes. Holt just pickpocketed, and look at the strong punch. Fantastic reflex save by Chan.
Well, fans, this corner is brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management. For every FMFC corner kick at home, Canopy is donating $50 to the club's mini pitch fundraising event. It's the first corner of the night for either side. Let's see what the Mingos can conjure here. McCamey with in swing toward the near post. Chen came to punch. Spangler looking to usher the other direction. Sidul.
Lovely. Sidul is getting stuck in.
Nearly broke lines here. Called on Carmichael to recover. That was Ryan Carmichael, the attacker.
And you don't mind those balls over the top. You have to keep the other team honest. So far, Cosmos have built out to the back, short passes, getting the midfield involved, then they play through the lines. A ball over the top by Sidul. He has that technique to do it. So you don't mind when your creative player like that has a go.
McCamey ranging forward from center back. Continuing the run of Carmichael. Spangler. He's just cutting holes in this defense himself.
I mean, just nutmegged the first challenge and breezed past the second.
When he gets in his zone, he is very difficult to corral. You saw the numbers, 6 goals, 4 assists, 4 contributions in the last 2 as well. In league play, that is. So he made a name for himself at Texoma a year ago after announcing himself to the league a year prior. It's over the top for Guenzati, who is onside. Appeals for handball, and they're granted. And an immediate yellow card shown as well.
Now we talk about the magic of Spangler. He is so impossible to dispossess. Just nutmegs the first person, holds him off, shrugs him off. Eventually, the second one gets a piece of it, but already Cosmos are in a good position to keep possession, even though the defender got a foot to it. Now Guenzati won that free kick, a little bump into the defender's hip just to create some space. Then he got control. You don't learn that on the practice field, Sam. You learn that playing 100 games in USL Championship and then playing more in USL League One.
There's a 23-year-old Kevin Carmichael, who is a rookie to USL League One, who is booked. So an early free kick for the Cosmos. And we'll see what pressure they could put on JT Harms' goal.
Now this favors the left footer. I would love Spengler to own this free kick. I know Sidul is in the neighborhood. He's just there for a distraction, and maybe, but Spengler really has to own this free kick. Take responsibility. It is direct. It looks like they're going to try to nod it off to Sidul.
It is Sidul and Spangler in the vicinity. Both are wizards from this distance. It is Spangler who goes for goal, just over. May have taken a touch off Harms, and that it did.
Well, he's all class. He gets it up and over the wall. That is a very, very hard, crafty thing to do. That takes guile, genius, and talent, and Spengler has that whole package.
So corner for Cosmos now. Spangler will take it.
Sam, I'm hearing cries from the crowd. Is that anything to do with Dairy Night?
It's flamingo sounds, actually.
Flamingo sounds.
Ford Madison, of course,
Should've
nicknamed
known.
the Mingos.
I mean, it's basically a zoo over there. I mean, flamingos, you have cows.
Every animal is represented at Bree Stevens Field, it seems. referee is just having a stern talking to with Nick Mendonca and Kenny Kanyane. Christian Campo Hernandez overseeing everything here tonight. Taken short, flicked along cleverly to Jonah. Couldn't nestle it through the mix of Mingo defenders, and it is another corner.
Flamingos in Wisconsin, you know you got me. I didn't think there was flamingos in Wisconsin. That's amazing.
I don't think there are. I think it was in honor of a class prank by the University of Wisconsin, class of like 1979 or something.
Because when I think flamingos, I think the opposite of Wisconsin.
I would agree.
I think Miami Beach.
Another in-swinger from Spangler. This one better, but too tight on Harms.
Oh, look at the distribution. Beautiful.
It is fantastic. And they look to switch the play now. Ryan Carmichael stepping inside. Effort blocked at the source. Falls to Manjoma. Carmichael again. It's a clip cross. Anor Giamfi across the face. Gebhard lays it off. Just hunting an angle. Now they have one. And Anor Giamfi was offside again.
It is up to Giamfi to stay in line with the back line. He cannot get frustrated with anybody else. Excellent ball by Carmichael. Just floats it to the back post to see what happens. And Giamfi loses concentration and loses the last man. And now the attack is muffled.
There's your look at Davide Corti. He is tasked with returning the Cosmos to their previous glory. Of course, New York Cosmos is a proud club with a long history as Ford Madison ranges forward here. Gebhard.
Good defending.
Comes out to Manjoma. As we were talking about, New York Cosmos, a club that back in the day was one of the most famed clubs, not just in the United States, but in world football in the 70s and early 80s. Some of the best players in the world played for them, like Pelé, Franz Beckenbauer as well. A number of world champions.
Carlos Alberto, the captain of that Brazil team that won it in 1970, and that incredible goal he scored when Pelé laid it off for him to finish that scoreline at 4-1 against Italy.
3 world champions played for the Cosmos back in the day, and now Davide Corti is tasked with carrying on that legacy. He's mentioned that past few weeks it's been a bit of a burden to a degree because there's a lot of pressure associated with that. As the cross comes in, let it run. Comes out to Guinzotti in the end. Heavy challenge on Jonah.
That is just the type of mustard you need to make sure he doesn't advance. Excellent tackle.
Well, fans, this message is brought to you by Trustage. Trustage offers insurance and financial services built to support life's many stages. Whether it's protecting today, planning for tomorrow, or preparing what's ahead, Trustage helps people move forward with confidence. Learn more about insurance and financial solutions designed for real life at Trustage.com. We are midway through this first half. For those joining us on CBS Sports Golazo, we thank you for tuning in at Bree Stevens Field. Sam Goldfarb alongside Ryan Davis. No score between Ford Madison and New York Cosmos. But I tell you what, partner, we have a fun game of cat and mouse brewing at the moment.
And both teams seem very interested in being direct.
Kanyane. Nearly fell loose for Gebhard, instead out for what appears to be another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick.
Good chance for Toure, who's 6'4", the Canadian defender, to now make his way, as well as the 6'2" Colin Makami, to get a chance to nod one in. So important for centre-backs to get goals throughout the season.
Well, fans, this corner is brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management. Flamingos. Another opportunity from a set piece for Madison, their second corner to date. In-swinger. Back post this time and headed in. Forward Madison strikes off a set piece and they take the lead inside 25 minutes.
Well, you could break down teams in different ways. Cosmos are doing a great job in being stubborn and just being resilient against this Madison team. But now they beat them on a set piece. Excellent deep delivery. And there it is, coming in right at the back post to finish things off. Number 9, Ryan Carmichael, who came in, one of those forwards that provides depth to that forward line. And boy, did he provide depth there. Arriving late at the back post and the technique to finish, Sam. 5 stars on Yelp.
24-year-old Ryan Carmichael, his third league goal for Forward Madison, and he powers the Mingos in front with this goal, which is brought to you by Bergstrom Lexus dealers of Madison. Ryan Carmichael made a name for himself in the MLS Next Pro ranks after a strong conclusion to his college career at Hofstra, where he was CAA Player of the Year. A couple seasons at Inter Miami 2 and Atlanta United 2 respectively, makes the move to Madison and has emerged as a key presence going forward for the Mingos.
Which is a great example of the U.S. landscape of soccer working, where they have more opportunities.
This is given away. Chown pounded clear by the goal scorer, Carmichael.
Oh, what a ball.
Kanyane.
Oh, Kanyane can advance the ball, win a free kick, just because of that switch of play. And not everyone can do that.
Well, fans, turn to CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, July 1st for a USL League One showdown. Spokane Velocity hoping to speed past the formidable Flamingos of Forward Madison at 9 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action on CBS Sports Network July 1st.
What a chance to call a game, a Spokane game. And that lovely, tidy, quaint feel in Spokane really does provide a lot of energy and excitement.
Do pack the crowd in Spokane. Well, fans, smart design, everyday comfort, fun to drive, and a price that makes sense at Zimbrick Volkswagen in Middleton. Gebhardt, all-time leading goal scorer in Forward Madison history. The ball comes wide for Stephen Enorgianfi, who's made a menace of himself early on. Ramon Torres linking well. It falls for Gebhardt. Still loose and bashed home. It is an acrobatic finish from Ramon Torres, and Madison doubles the lead.
While he's known for his chances created the most on this team, this time he shows up right at the doorstep. Look at the close one-touch passing. But the Cosmos have to stay with their runners. They don't stay with Torres. Here he is popping up. You can't have him pop up in the 6-yard box. A yellow shirt has to be with him. And they pay the ultimate price.
Two goals in 3 minutes for Forward Madison, and the flock end rejoicing. And it may just be one of those magical nights where they bang the goals in en masse. That goal brought to you by the Bergstrom Lexus dealers of Madison. Ramon Torres with his second of the season from the heart of midfield.
And it was so important for this Madison team to get on top. They are not very good so far this season when playing from behind. Now they're in full control on Dairy Day. And now the crowd is into it. They have momentum. This Cosmos team more misery with just 28 minutes gone. And Madison are controlling the possession now.
Looking at the updated numbers, Forward Madison has now outscored their opponents by an 11-2 scoreline at home. That includes this 2-0 scoreline we're staring at the moment.
All credit goes to the Cows and the fans in the stands.
cows and fans alike will be overjoyed with these opening 30 minutes.
They bring the energy. That definitely goes to the players. Oof.
Now Anor Giamfi in some space. He surveys for options. Ball behind the on-rushing counterpart. Finally floated away by Jordan Chavez.
Fortunate bounce for Chavez. He lost Janwa.
Fan Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice.
Currently, FC Madison has 13 touches in Cosmos's box, 18-yard box. I mean, that is just having fun. That's like playing in your backyard. And Cosmos has to apply the pressure right here to take the pressure off of their back line.
Davide Corti mentioned to us the importance of pressing in unison this week. He spoke about how sometimes he feels like Sebastian Guenzati doesn't have a lot of support. He is the lone forward. They felt like they'd experiment with two up front in the press, but hasn't proven to pay any dividends just yet.
Well, Guenzati is a pressing machine when he played in the USL Championship.
Kanyane, it's a dipping ball in. That is a physical coming together and still floating about before the whistle finally sounds. Derek Gebhard took the brunt of that contact from Derek Chan. That is a concerning sight. Madison's talisman going forward looks to be in a considerable bit of discomfort here.
Well, Chan came out like a man possessed. First of all, Spengler doing an awful job not stopping the cross. Fantastic delivery, and look at Chan. I mean, that is Ivan Drago on Apollo Creed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Rocky IV will be playing on July 4th on AMC, so you'll get a chance to see it then.
Didn't think we'd have an Ivan Drago reference this early in the broadcast.
What about Apollo Creed?
To be fair, I didn't think that either. Derek Gebhard is still being tended to by the physios. You just have to wonder now what's going through Davide Corti's mind. His counterpart in Patrick Nyako has to be overjoyed with what he's seen. We got a chance to talk a little bit about his background, but you look at his playing history. 7 years with Chicago Fire, then another 2 with DC United, so nearly a decade in MLS. Someone who was an assistant throughout a number of MLS systems, mainly Chicago Fire, before making the move to Madison's youth ranks a year ago. Now on the first team staff, and I don't think he thought he'd be thrust into this position, but I think he's pretty happy with how the position has turned out thus far, because this side has been in control.
10 years playing at a top level, like in the MLS, you're going to go through a few coaches, and if you go through a few coaches, you're going to learn some philosophies, and Yarko is going to apply that right now tonight.
You look at the goal that just transpired. This is the second for Forward Madison. It was the second in 3 minutes.
Well, they stay close together, full of confidence, Madison, and Cosmos quite the opposite, not staying with their runners. And there he is, showing up at the end. Torres, the creative spark in midfield, getting a goal. And that second goal really, really puts doubt, as you can see Spengler's reaction. And this crowd reaction looks like the players on his feet. Concerns, of course, about concussions. He looks really wobbly.
Derek Gebhard now in year 6 with Forward Madison. The club's all-time leading goal scorer. This appearance 166 since joining Forward Madison last season. All-league second-team selection, and a big part of the reason why Forward Madison was in contention for a postseason berth on the final day of the regular season, despite scoring the least goals in the league. He was the man that fueled them through so many of their rough patches, and now the first thought on everyone's mind just has to be they hope he's okay and not too shaken up from a really unfortunate collision with Derek Chan.
But the turnover has been remarkable. Gebhard and Manjoma, the only two outfield players called back this year.
Mendonca pings this ahead towards Jauna. It runs out of play. Bayer Insurance, a proud sponsor of Ford Madison FC, is based in Madison and has provided protection and peace of mind to businesses and individuals throughout the state of Wisconsin since 1928. Tell you what, you know what else has been around since nearly 1928? In fact, longer than 1928. Breese Stevens Field.
Wow,
1926 is when it opened. As Gebhard was back out there, and
there were no flamingos then, and there are no flamingos now.
Now Gebhard is coming back off, so it's concerning. They tried to send him back out here and give it a go, and still seems a little shaken up.
Well, the captain, this is never a good sight to see him have to depart. He never looked right walking off from that crushing blow from Chan.
Right now, Madison temporarily down to 10. It's looking more likely that Derek Gebhard may have to be removed. This is Anor Giamfi. Josh Bolma is getting set to replace Derek Gebhard. So we send our thoughts Derek Gebhard's way. His impact on Madison as a community, as a football club, cannot be overstated. Carmichael chasing this. He does keep this in play. Has an Giamfi with him, instead lays it off. Too many bodies in the way. Now Ramon Torres. It's a loose pass from Cañate.
Again, you see the leakage in the back from the Cosmos, allowing Carmichael to get that ball on the line. There was no chance the forward should have gotten that ball. Should have been corralled towards the sideline, either a throw-in or dispossessing the forward.
Morabito, 18-year-old standout at fullback, impressed during preseason with New York Cosmos. Has bounced in and out of the lineup since. Now Jauna. Wow. He's shoved down in the area. Toure. Ultimately, it seems it came to nothing.
Yep, it didn't come off in the end, but the run by Jonah shows bravery, taking responsibility, and you want that in your creative players. The man from Gambia has an extra gear. And forward Madison just learned the hard way how fast he can run. Yellow card, I believe, was at least thought about giving. Here's Jauna, and there's the elbow. It looks like treading over him inadvertently was Toure.
The referee never pointed to the spot, so it may have been after the fact. While all of this is going on, the substitution finally transpired. So Josh Bolma replaced Derek Gebhard. That substitution is presented by Festival Foods, and Lamine Jauna is still down. He's a player that New York Cosmos signed to bring in experience on the flanks.
It's not always the actual body-to-body impact. It's the fall sometimes that injures the player. Toure is trying to explain himself. Here's Jonah making that fantastic driving run. And that looks like shoulder to shoulder from me, Sam. That is not a foul. And I believe maybe inadvertently his cleats treaded on Jonah. And you can understand Toure is flabbergasted in why he got a yellow card.
Fala Toure is in the book. It appeared to be what transpired after the initial challenge. We never saw the referee point to the spot for a possible penalty. Shauna is now being helped up.
Well, with his kind of talent and athleticism, that is one player that the Cosmos can ill afford to see come off the field.
Fan soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your tickets, great seats.
Sam, just a quick possession count, 62% to the home side, 38 for the Cosmos. So not only Madison having great possession, but they're making use of that possession. Passes into the opposition box, 17-9 to Cosmos. I mean, Madison over Cosmos. So they're certainly being penetrative and trying to create chances with their possession.
What's most interesting about that stat is have that percentage despite being so incredibly direct. It doesn't feel like they've settled on the ball and had prolonged periods. They've broken a lot of lines with direct balls forward.
Yeah, that's the amount of times that the Cosmos has coughed up the ball. So Madison just taking full advantage when they do get back possession to try and get behind the back line.
In the final 5 minutes now of the first half, 2-0 to Ford Madison. Goals from Ryan Carmichael and Ramon Torres, separated by 3 minutes in the 25th and 28th. Sam Goldfarb alongside Ryan Davis here at Breese Stevens Field, one of the brilliant venues in USL League One. Cabrera briefly lost his footing.
Oh, that's a fantastic move, is it?
Looks forward. Lanzati chests it down. Too heavy a touch. Manjoma. Carmichael. Sent for a ride in a set piece.
You don't mind that? A little bit of physicality. Sometimes this Cosmos team needs to feel that energy coming from their back line. And that was Holt, who has not had the best of games so far. Still has the second half, of course, but just delivering some pain or saying hello to someone in the middle of the park.
If you are Cosmos, remember they were 2-0 down the last time these two teams met in New Jersey. They managed to way back after halftime. So I wonder what the team talk will be like if this scoreline persists at intermission. Keep in mind, in that match, though, Kenny Kanyane was sent off, so they spent the majority of the final hour a man up.
You know, Sam, it's so hard to X and O with this Cosmos team.
Derek Chan off his line here, and he wins that foot race.
The confidence is so low. I mean, you could talk about the X's and O's and formations and move and tiki-tackering and tinkering, but it's going to take some confidence from these players. Their body language has dropped considerably after the second goal. So yes, they came back to 2-2 in the early days of this season before the drought. Now it's a different Cosmos team from then.
Bolma has now been deployed on the front line where Gebhard was. For those keeping track at home, that was a concussion sub. So there will be major concerns for Derek Gebhard after the match. Of course, he is one of their primary threats going forward and has been for years. Torres. Kanyane. This is a loose pass across. There's Cabrera. Mason. Bolma sprays it long. Anor Gianfi is in, and the flag stays down. Carmichael.
Your back line needs to be a living, breathing organism. And this back line is so disjointed. the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. They get behind the back line. Then you see a race of yellow shirts trying to come back into position. If you're going to play a high back line, everyone has to play high. People can't get caught straying or not staying in unison. It creates so much space for the other team, and it puts Cosmos on the back foot.
Well, fans, it's winning time presented by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Scan the QR code on screen or visit FordMadisonFC.com/winning-time for your chance to win your favorite Ford Madison FC kit, $100 in rewards play, and $50 in food and beverage. Credit redeemable at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. One lucky winner will be chosen on the Monday after tonight's match. Jauna trying to get on the end of this and does. Has Gwenzati with him. The cross deflected and falls kindly for JT Harms.
Well, there's that pace again by Jaune, getting to the byline. Just athleticism and skill.
It's now time for stoppage time, which is presented by Just Coffee Co-op. It is 5 minutes. That separates us from halftime. Partner, I know you mentioned it's hard to scheme up X's and O's and tactics for a situation like the one New York faces, right? 6 matches winless in league play, 5 consecutive defeats. What is the tenor of the message from Davide Corti at halftime?
Yeah, I mean, you have to go back to the basics, right? The back line is getting separated from the midfield. There's a gap opening up between the defensive midfielders and those centre-backs. And players like Gebhard, who was on the field, was creeping into that space. And now Torres, that has to be closed. They have to stay closer to that midfield line. And then the fullbacks have to do a better job. If you're going to get beat, you at least have to be physical with the player. If you're going to be slower, again, you're going to have to be physical. There are other players on the bench there that can come in if you get a yellow card.
And Orgiampi wins that physical battle.
Because as of right now, it is way too easy to come down the sides against Cosmos.
This falls for Carmichael.
Oh.
Breaks lines well. Another cross in. Skews awkwardly off the boots of what appears to be Bulma. And New York with a let-off for now.
Again, going out wide, Carmichael arriving late. He's free as a bird. Good ball back inside. The Cosmos again. We talked about that Swiss cheese.
It is a porous defense for sure. 29 goals allowed, by far the most in the league. Especially over this rocky patch. They've now been outscored 17-4 in the last 5 matches and change in all comps. Kanyane looks ahead for Carmichael. Chan well off his line.
Tell you what, Chan has done a great job so far in this first half. Could not do anything with those first 2 goals. Had a blinding save to prevent a third.
It does feel like this could be a much larger margin without his presence.
Literally delivered a knockout blow to Gebhard. Quite an all-round performance.
It's definitely one that was action-packed. Bulma turns it over there to Sidul. Now Mendonca. Gwenzati. There's not enough numbers in support right now for the Cosmos. Mason hoping to change that.
Good ball.
Decent cross in. Right at Harms, though.
Well, he's gotten beaten for pace, Mason, on the defensive end. Does a great job here. Just to flick the ball past the first defender. And that delivery. It brought Harms into play. But that's what you want to do. You want to have the keeper in 2 minds, whether to go or stay.
Especially a keeper that hasn't been tested much. Torres. Orgiampi once again gets on the end of it. Once again has options as well. He keeps it himself. escorted along and may have committed a transgression in the process.
I'm perplexed myself of why the free kick was given. Giamfi with a chinking run. Close control, gets past the first defender, and then they think it's a foul, but Giamfi has control of the ball. The ball is in his sphere, in his possession. So yes, that contact was there, but that is not a foul against him as he was trying to protect the ball, which he's allowed to do.
It's a decision that's not popular at the Flock end.
But the Cows either.
Seedol, former Ajax Academy standout. His quality is something that the front office staff as well as Davide Corti raves about. Scored the first goal in the club's third rendition in their USL League One debut against Portland Hearts at Pine. Then an equalizer in an eventual 3-1 defeat. Beyond the added 5 minutes now. And the halftime whistle sounds. Well, Ryan, 2 goals in 3 minutes for Madison makes the difference. Pretty comprehensive display so far.
Yeah, and Cosmos came out with great energy. They stayed compact and stubborn like we talked about, defended as a unit. But after about 20 minutes, they started to get separated, and Madison got comfortable in their home ground and started to create plays, staying close together, little 1-2s, and then eventually finishing for 2 goals.
Ryan Carmichael and Roman Torres, the difference makers through 45 minutes. Forward Madison celebrating in front of their home fans thus far. They lead 2-0 at intermission. When we return, a look around the USL pyramid. Stick with us.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Kick your excitement into high gear with the Nissan Kicks. Zimbrick Nissan. Find more kicks to choose from. Zimbrick Nissan. From people who know kicks inside and out. Zimbrick Nissan at the best kicks price. Zimbrick Nissan. Save more and shop more selection at Zimbrick Nissan, Madison's favorite Nissan dealer. Get it kicked with Nissan Safety Shield 360 and intelligent all-wheel drive. At Zimbrick Eastside off High Crossing. Best of Madison and People's Choice winner 2024.
We welcome you back to Madison, where tonight's halftime is presented by Just Coffee Co-op. At intermission, Forward Madison leads New York Cosmos by a 2-0 scoreline. We alluded to the vast history of New York Cosmos, and in their first rendition, regarded as the most glamorous club in world football. 3 World Cup winners on the roster in the 70s and 80s in Pelé, Franz Beckenbauer, and Carlos Alberto. This was a legacy club back in the 20th century. And now, continuing our World Cup conversation, let's get a look at how USL clubs are hosting some teams in this summer's edition.
Before the World Cup can begin, 48 national teams need a home. And home is a lot more than a practice field.
They wanted a beautiful grass field and in a sort of secure facility with great access to gyms and all the other pieces around.
Dan Rutstein had the honor of handing the keys to Orange County SC's entire facility to the U.S. men's national team. Why does it matter to you to have the U.S. national team at your facility?
Look, if you can't get excited about a World Cup, then we shouldn't be in this business. It's obviously an enormous opportunity. We're happy for them, it's a great facility. We're happy for us, we're happy for our fans, so we can be talked about in the same breath as the home nation in a home World Cup.
Orange County is joined by the Oakland Roots, who will host the Australian national team, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting first-time World Cup team Cape Verde. When clubs spend multiple weeks in one building, the facility must accommodate an entire support system, not just the players. In a large country like the United States, travel can take a toll. Cape Verde's Tampa home sets up short flights to Atlanta, Miami, and Houston for its group matches. Australia will play matches in Vancouver, Seattle, and nearby Santa Clara. The U.S. team's longest journey is Seattle, sandwiched between two group matches in Los Angeles. But as the World Cup takes place, it's business as usual for the USL Championship. For Orange County, a worthwhile temporary adjustment.
We're still training next door. The short-term pain of being not allowed to use our stadium for the medium and long-term gain of working with the US national team, we could never say no to an opportunity like that.
We will take a quick breather here from Madison, where the Mingos are looking to continue kicking it into high gear. They lead 2-0. When we return, a look around the league continues.
You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
I truly give everything that I can for them.
It's like, all right, we're in this and we're gonna go for it.
Esto es la porra, this is who we are.
Everybody here doing the heartbeat, having everybody in the stadium do that was just chills.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sometimes the waves are calling your name. Other times, you think the waves are calling your name, but actually, it's the kids. This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Alexandra! Spokane opens the scoring. Carmichael volleys, it scores! And it's 3-1 forward Madison.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn. But my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
We welcome you back to Madison, where at halftime our scoreline reads Madison 2, New York Cosmos 0. A comprehensive performance thus far from the hosts. And now it's time to get a look at our out-of-town scores, which are brought to you by DCRA. Let's get a look at the standout results. How about Westchester? A 5-1 throttling of Portland Hearts of Pine.
Starting to get better and better as this season goes along, and we love Westchester. They play attacking football. Please don't ever change.
And then as you look further throughout the schedule, right now AV Alta 2-1 victors, heading towards our upcoming schedule, which is presented by Dairyland Insurance. A big one in Boise. Boise looking to get back on track against the league leaders.
Yep, get your popcorn out. Two teams that score a lot of goals. And it should be fireworks over in Spokane.
All part of a jam-packed slate in USL League One this evening. It's now time to continue our look around the league with a deeper dive into League One's halftime update. Take a look at Dan Lucas's content.
It is halftime in League One. We'll get back out to the second half in just a bit. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with some of the headlines from the week. Charlotte Independence continued its hot streak last weekend with a 4-3 win over FC Naples. That's 7 League One victories in a row, 10 straight unbeaten in all competitions. Golden Boot leader Luis Alvarez has led the charge with 8 goals and 2 assists during that stretch. AV Alta heating up as well with its 1-0 victory over Spokane Velocity. The club is now unbeaten in 7 straight League One matches with just 2 goals allowed in its last 6 games. Last week, Sarasota Paradise acquired League One living legend Emiliano Terzaghi, and he contributed immediately with a goal in Sarasota's 2-0 win over Union Omaha. From 2020 to 22, Terzaghi made his name with 3 consecutive League One Player of the Year awards, the Golden Boot in each of those seasons, and a Players' Shield with Richmond Kickers. He now owns 63 regular season goals in his League One career. Upcoming national spotlight games in the championship and League One. Wednesday the 24th, Colorado Springs and San Antonio on ESPN2. July 1st, Spokane and Forward Madison on CBS Sports Network. And the next day, AC Boise and 1 Knoxville on ESPN2. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Welcome to Madison, Wisconsin.
TrueStage aspires to be the most trusted insurance and financial services provider. For more than 90 years, our work has been guided by the philosophy of people helping people. Today, we help protect more than 39 million customers through every stage of their financial lives. Our suite of protection solutions is designed to grow over the long term, and we're continually evolving to serve our partners and their customers better. Together, we can create more access, more stability, and more confidence. Learn more at TrueStage.com.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Welcome to Madison.
The USL on CBS is presented by Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Time to look at our first half highlights, which are brought to you by the Just Coffee Co-op, and it was a fast start, a rip-roaring affair so far.
Yeah, Saber Guenzati tried to get Cosmos to stay compact, stay stubborn, presses a unit. With Forward Madison on Dairy Night, eat more beef, more chicken, sorry. break the shackles, but Chan, it was actually an offside goal for this first one.
And Norgiampi was offside here. That was a chance to open the scoring inside the first 10 minutes. And then Shamir Spangler had a free kick that at least raised some eyebrows later on.
Yeah, Spangler up and over the wall. That is not easy. That is a craft that you have to practice and have the talent to do. And he has those sort of characteristics.
Finally, the breakthrough on 25 minutes, and then the floodgates started to open.
Well, if you can't break a team down in open play, why not on a set piece? Ryan Carmichael coming from deep. You don't pick him up. And the technique to knot it down. His under-14 coach will be very happy.
Right in front of the flock end, and 3 minutes later, Ramon Torres would compound the misery for the visitors.
Short passing through the middle. Cosmos did not stay with their runners. Torres just wiggles free. Can't be free in the 6-yard box. He finishes spectacularly, but it all breaks down right here. Torres makes the run. Nobody stays with the runner. And look at the finish.
Brilliant finish for Ramon Torres, his second league goal of the season in some style, and Madison doubling the advantage before the half-hour threshold. In terms of our halftime stats, which are presented by Rhyme, about what you would expect from what we watched in those opening 45.
Yeah, we mentioned the 63% possession towards the end of the first half, but it's the 9 shots to complement the possession. 3 of those on target. It just shows that they're actually breaking lines, getting behind this New York Cosmos back line. All the shots may not be on target, but at least they're getting there to have shots.
They are in a very dangerous position, a number of giveaways affording them opportunities as well. Double change now for New York Cosmos. It is Davy Mason exiting. And there is Nick Zelonka, who's a listed winger. Well, in addition to that, Massimo Morabito exits for Davide Galazzini, who scored New York's lone goal last week at One Knoxville. Remember, the Cosmos were in this position a while back. In fact, a week ago against One Knoxville. They managed to pull a goal back before Javier Garcia spilled the ball and afforded Knoxville a chance to double the advantage again. And so those are the 2 changes. Zelonka in for Mason. Morabito exits for Galazzini. We are back underway. Madison with a 2-0 cushion. It's the same margin by which they led the last time these two sides met. Right after the restart, New York flipped it in a hurry. Will it be deja vu, or will it be a Madison party where they move up the table?
That's awesome. I love that sound.
You were asking for a pun. You now have one.
Cows love it. I love it.
Sam Goldfarb, Ryan Davis on hand. For those that have just missed us, it is Dairy Month appreciation kits for Forward Madison. So that's why they have cow emblazoned kits tonight, not to mention cows in the venue, but cows in the venue tend to be a common occurrence.
You seem to have forgotten numbers, though.
We are working hard tonight on that front. There are the 2 changes on your screen, by the way, both presented by Festival Foods. Both fullbacks have been replaced. Zelonka on for Mason seems to be an attack-minded change. Nestor Cabrera maybe moves back into his natural left-back role.
Absolutely. They were coming down these sides way too easy. The crosses weren't being stopped, so the service kept coming across the box, and it's too hard for the centre-backs to pick up.
Here is Cabrera. Drives on forward. He's tenacious here.
Nice.
Spangler. Lets it run. Galazzini. Cross in from Spangler. Torres gets a boot in the way. Norgiamfi hoping to break the other direction for Madison. Has runners in support. Missed the chance to play in Carmichael there. Bulma. Darts inside. That's well done.
Bulma fresh off that goal midweek against Fort Wayne. Comes on now to try and provide some pizzazz on this near side.
Has one a corner. Gives us a chance to let you know that this corner is brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management. For every FMFC corner kick at home, Canopy is donating $50 to the club's mini pitch fundraising event. They scored their opener off a corner, and Colin McCamey back to the near side flag here. Another in-swinger, another one to the back stick. This one's dealt with a bit better by the Cosmos. Fans, in addition to that, we want to let you know that this message is brought to you by TrueStage. TrueStage offers insurance and financial services built to support life's many stages, whether it's protecting today, planning for tomorrow, or preparing what's ahead. TrueStage helps people move forward with confidence. There's a chance brewing for Madison, and the follow-up effort, and it squirms in. Well, it's a costly error. And forward Madison makes it 3-0. Jackson Castro on the score sheet.
It's the Vancouver Whitecap adding to the new keeper's nightmares. Castro with a little bit of MLS experience, showing that quality. Carmichael trying to do the damage. One-time cracker. And Chan, it came through traffic, but Chan again, you have to hold on to those. Keepers at this level are expected to make that save. And Chan, who had a great first half, just added to the team's woes in the second.
Jackson Castro, his first league goal of the season in Forward Madison colors. That goal is brought to you by the Bergstrom Lexus dealers of Madison. And if there was any doubt about the result, it may have been eradicated then and there.
Sam, when you come out of the half, you have that extra energy, that little bit of boost, some water, you got a fresh talk from the coach. Something like that just completely takes the wind out of your sails when you're already down 2-0. So you can understand players like Gwenzati and Sado, a little frustrated, one of the experienced ones.
An interesting inflection point in the match, because we mentioned how right after the restart, in the last time these two teams met, the Cosmos scored twice in as many minutes. That first goal came in the 49th minute. Interesting parallel. The third goal for Madison tonight at 2-0, 49th minute.
Awesome. I'm going to play a mark tonight. On my lottery numbers, number 49 has to be in there.
Might be the magic number across the board.
49, 49, 49 right across.
All in all, 3-0 to the Mangos. Jackson Castro, you mentioned it, a former member of Whitecaps FC2 and MLS Next Pro. His father, Diego, played professionally for 11 years in Chile, Germany, and the United States.
I think I know who he is, Diego Castro. Yes, excellent creative midfielder. Remember seeing him play for Bayern Munich.
Also sounds there. Eddie Winchoma receiving a stern talking to from
Castro was there.
Hernandez.
Castro was there around the Aaron Robin time. And Ribery out left, Robin out right, Castro in the middle of the park.
Did not know we'd be nerding out about early 2010s Bayern sides.
Oh yeah.
Well, speaking of Bayern and Vancouver Whitecaps, Thomas Muller.
Thomas Muller, legend.
Cañade. Cami. Castro plays this forward to Josh Bolma, who's shoved down furiously by Chavez. No whistle from the official.
Great no call. Again, shoulder to shoulder. Chavez making himself large. And the referee right on the spot.
Carmichael.
Wow.
Continuing his run. His cross is decent. Chavez there to clear it away.
What a turn.
Jonah. Darts past one. Pinged across the face. But didn't fall to a yellow shirt.
Jonah has this incredible ability to be athletic, has a good touch, as we saw with that turn. But he seems to lack the final product. And I'm sure his coach may have spoken to him about it. When he gets to the attacking third, you have to finish that great run with a pass or a shot. And neither of those have come to fruition so far with his runs.
Talking to Davide Corti, we alluded to this off the top. But he mentioned how without Christian Kofi, who's missed the last couple fixtures and has been in and out of the side for the better part of the last month, they lack that true 1v1 presence. And the way they build, they want to get someone like Kofi in 1v1 situations. That lack of a 1v1 dominator is apparent tonight. Here's Castro, the most recent goal scorer for Madison. Torres.
Oh, took too long.
Gets it back. And now he has some space. Wide for Kanyane. McCamey. Decent cross in. Right at Chan, but Anor Giamfi was offside.
Well, again, Giamfi not staying with the last defender. Getting caught offside yet again. Excellent job by the Cosmos. Keeping on high line, staying together, moving together. That takes pressure off your back line and your goalkeeper when you can move in unison.
McCamey. Torres. Is this wide to Jackson Castro? He's really announced himself in the second half. And numbers now, Manjoma.
Good tackle.
Very good tackle from Mendonca. Jauna.
This is Jauna again. He's again showing off his ability and athleticism, but he's now getting himself into trouble. There's no outlet, there's no finished product to then create space for somebody else with all that dribbling. He's just dribbling in a circle and kicking up sand.
Spengler threads this through. Zalonka. Slight nudge from Kanyane does the job, but how about this tackle from Mendonca moments ago?
Well, who says Brazilians only pass and shoot and create? Look at this tackle by Mendonca. Talk about committed. Brazilian doing Brazilian things.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 and the Sirius XM app. By the way, you may have inflated Diego Castro's resume a bit. No Bayern Munich, but he did play for Hertha in Germany.
Okay.
I don't think he'll mind that you inflated his resume, though.
Clearly I mistaken for somebody else, but I'm sure he's not going to tell anyone that I did.
Either way, his son is on the score sheet, and that is a fact that won't be disputed tonight. Spengler tugged, maybe a yellow card out in a matter of seconds. And on the subject, I believe Jackson Castro is the latest addition to the book.
Well, Castro taking one for the team. Forward Madison were completely disjointed as the Cosmos had a counter-attack. He took the yellow card, a professional foul. And a man like Spengler with room to play and yellow shirts ahead of him, that could have been disaster for Madison.
Player down for Madison. Skinny Kanyane. He's been grabbing his lower back for the last 3-4 minutes or so.
There isn't a magic spray for that.
He is a key piece for them going forward as a wing back. 24-year-old who joined after spending his first pro season with Chicago Fire 2. Native Johannesburg in South Africa, former South African Youth International as well. A night where they've already lost Derek Gebhard, hoping it doesn't become even more of a Pyrrhic victory.
I think it's a great opportunity for Nayar Kota. Make some changes, some more changes. Allow players to get some rest. This Madison team has enough quality to finish this match with their bench players. There's our third goal. Carmichael doing the damage. And look at this follow through. Absolutely beautiful, but right through traffic. Chan has to take responsibility here. It was right at him. Castro with a beauty, but it was completely spilled by the reserve goalkeeper.
And that is going to be a mistake that drives Davide Corti nuts, because 2 goalkeeping errors made the difference against 1 Knox. Mark Segbers has now entered for Forward Madison, starting to get more frequent appearances after coming back from injury, and he replaces Kenny Kanyane in a like-for-like swap. Meanwhile, in addition to that, Ramon Torres, he departs as well. He's replaced by Jalen Shannon. So double change, both subs presented by Festival Foods. Segbers for Kanyane, Shannon for Torres, and maybe now signs that Madison is starting to lock up shop with half an hour to go.
Well, Segbers is one of those veteran leaders coming onto the field. Jalen Shannon, usually in his starting lineup, gets back into this back line, gets some meaningful minutes.
Segbers 8 seasons in USL Championship, has spent his entire 9-year playing career in the USL Pyramid. It's a clever flick from Cabrera. Jauna. Donka tripped up. Giamfi trying to sneak in behind again. This time Anderson Holt muscles him off it.
Well, Holt, who did not have the best of first halves, have seemed to have tidied up that left centre-back position in the second half. Giamfi is no easy person to contend with open space behind you. And Holt did a great job to lock down that angle.
Former first-round pick, 2024 MLS Super Draft. A couple years in the Dynamo organization, mostly in Next Pro. He played 1 season of college soccer, but was ACC Freshman of the Year at UVA during that loan campaign in 2023. Segbers, his first proper touch. It's not the best of passes. Still keeps it alive for New York. Jauna. Hammy tracks him step for step. Madison breaking through this Cosmos press with relative ease. Majoma. Some issues there from Kevin Carmichael.
Yeah, it seems to be with the turf. Sometimes the cleats can get stuck. This is becoming a little problematic for Forward Madison. You look for rhythm when you're in the attacking third. And for yet again, Giamfi is snuck behind that back line.
Third time he's been offside today. By the way, we can let you know that eFootball is here. Live your dream, wreck your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now.
I love eFootball. I've downloaded it. The USL teams are right there for the taking. Sam, if you had to play that as a team in the USL Championship, what would it be?
I'll get back to you on that in a second as we see Cosmos venture forward. Hartford Athletic from Connecticut. Mendonca. Spengler. Galazzini's cross, it's a venomous one. Segbers intervenes.
Well, Sam, we're all waiting.
Oh, I answered it.
Which one?
Hartford.
Hartford, okay. Have to say that this Cosmos team has had a good spell in the last 6 or 7 minutes since the changes have been made by Forward Madison. They seem to be gotten disjointed now with the new players coming in and trying to get stuck in. And this Cosmos team starting to enjoy some possession. Not saying it's going to light up the world, but it's certainly going to give them a feel-good feeling coming out of this match if they can maintain this for the next 30 minutes.
See if they can get on the board. That's definitely the #1 thing they're in pursuit of. You never know. If you get one back, maybe it changes the momentum of things. I've already mentioned they've had more of the ball, some decent patterns of play. Sidul and Zadi dispossessed. He's been a relative non-factor so far. And Bolma breaking the other way. Has Carmichael with him, and he plays him in. Carmichael's cross, too tight on Chen.
Great run by Boma. Carmichael was too close to him, so Boma tried to do too much with the pass. He put it too far. Carmichael ran out of real estate or angle, and Chan did a good job anticipating.
Well, inside the final half hour now. For those just joining us on Golazo, we welcome you. Sam Goldfarb, Ryan Davis on hand. Fort Madison 3-0 to the good. 3 different goal scorers. Carmichael and Torres in the first half, and then Jackson Castro 4 minutes after the restart. It is another corner presented by Canopy Wealth Management, and Colin McCamey continuing to get more target practice. Not common you see a center back take corners, but Colin McCamey has been the go-to all season for Madison in scenarios like these. The deliveries have been solid.
Good delivery.
It's another decent one there. This one falls out for Spengler. He's dispossessed. Tell you what, for all of Spengler's magic and the early nutmeg we saw, he's done well to manage his influence as well.
Yeah, not giving him any time to turn so he can see the field. He has to play most of this game with his back feet facing his own goal and just laying off the balls to other people, or spend time tackling and chasing shadows. And someone like Spengler, he doesn't want to do that. After a while, he gets fatigued, and then he makes mistakes as well.
There's a conversation about number 10s like him finding the game, and some coaches don't like the concept of maybe not pressing as aggressively so you can pick your spots. But Ashmir Spengler, very effective at that, and he also has had his moments in the press over the course of his 3 years in League One. He is one of the more clever players out of possession in the league, especially when his team has the ball.
Well, it's a dying breed in number 10. We hope to never see it go away, but it is going away as the game has become a lot more transition. He's a player that when everybody's hunkered down in the final third, he could get the ball to his feet. He can create a couple of 1-2s or create space for someone where there is no space. It's usually the best player on the field or the most technical player on the field. And Spengler, of course, does fit that bill tonight.
Segbers. Building through the lines effectively again. Giampi this time was dispossessed. Michael ran into an offside position. McCamey recycles it though. Now floats it forward. Bolma is onside. Can't pick out Carmichael at the back post. Really promising move there though from Madison.
Chavez has had a couple blocks in the second half. He's there again. Excellent reverse pass by McCanny. Ball goes across the goal. Guess who's there? Chavez again.
Once again, tonight's winning number is 695-733. Tonight's winner can pick up their prize at the box office near Gate 4.
Long throw. Carmichael. Segbers.
Oh, wow.
It's very well done.
That was beautiful.
Castro. Go from side to side effortlessly. Castro gets it back. Already 1 goal from outside the box this evening.
Great patience by Madison. Not forcing the issue. Keeping the Cosmos going side to side.
Bolma had his shirt tugged. Referee waved the play on.
It is never easy when you're chasing shadows for that long a period of time. And yes, they give away the ball there, but it took a lot of wind out of Cosmos in that last sequence.
Spengler in pursuit of a second win for Cosmos. As for Jauna, has options to cross into, and it isn't a bad ball, but Guenzati heading it well clear of the goal.
Well, I think it's the best ball Jauna has played all day today. Right on top of the 6-yard box, Guenzati at the doorstep. Just mistimed the header.
Fans, the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Winjoma. The other direction. Cosmo's looking to ask questions. Jonah can't find his way through the defense. If this holds, Forward Madison would climb back into the top 8. They'd be 7th in the live table as things stand. Important to note that Naples just suffered defeat against Chattanooga Red Wolves. So even if Madison was to somehow drop 2 points from this position, they would end the night in the top 8. Meanwhile, for Cosmos, it would be, as things stand, 12 points off playoff pace in late June. That is far from ideal for a side that carries the burden of history, if you will.
With a big log jam between 9th and 7th, the 6th, the 5th in this league. For Forward Madison to get a game like this, to begin a home stand, this is the part of the season where they can make their run and get right up into that top 3 eventually in a few games.
Remember, the top 4 host the quarterfinal round in the playoffs. Madison is readying a triple change as things stand. Zelonka. It's a dipping cross. It's one that doesn't reach Jauna.
Second, Grubu is off the bench. 6'5" target forward. I tell you what, you can go from point A to point B very quickly when you have a target forward like that.
He's made an impact too. A goal and 2 assists to his name, but did have 2 assists last Saturday in that 5-1 throttling of Boise. That was one of the more jaw-dropping results we've seen this season, and it was a result that showed the potential of this Forward Madison side. In addition to that, Enrique Mahasen and Karamoko are the other 2 that are set to enter. We're hearing word that Enorji Amphi and Carmichael will be 2 that leave. Galazzini did well there. Was blocked away from Jauna.
Well, the delicate pass from Spengler was beautiful. Galazzini has a head full of steam. Spengler just rolls it back into his path, and it chews up so much ground as he drove right through the field.
Was the lone goal scorer for Cosmos last Saturday in the 3-1 defeat. That against the defending champions in Knoxville, really tough place to play, difficult playing surface. Fortunately for them though, the bad results may continue here. So it is the triple change we mentioned. Claudel Ngubu, Enrique Mahasen, as well as Hakeem Karamoko all enter. McCamey is one of the first to depart. In addition to that, Enorji Amphi, and we heard word Carmichael is the 3rd that will exit. So definitely more defense-minded changes and an opportunity for Claudel Ngubu to continue his promising form up top.
Well, Honor did not have his best game tonight, despite his team being more dominant. Stepped into the offside position far too many times to squash any play in the final third.
Aramoko joined the club rather recently on loan on May 27th from DC United. He was picked 10th overall by DC in last year's MLS Super Draft. Already, Madison surging forward again with the fresh legs. And that's well done from Bolma. An aggressive cross that falls kindly for Ngubu. And this time Chan makes himself an obstacle. Now Manjoma gives it away. Spengler rides one challenge. Can't get beyond the second. And you're seeing what fresh legs can do almost immediately. And another yellow card out. Ajmir Spengler starting to flash some frustration.
Well, we saw Castro do it for his team before he was subbed out, the pull of the shirt. But look at this ball, beautiful skill. And he puts the ball in that corridor of uncertainty where the centre-backs are facing their own goal. Chan is nowhere to go. And he's brave, Chan, in those tight situations. You can ask the captain, Gebhard, how brave he is. And there's the foul from Spengler. Professional foul, immediate yellow card. That just symbolizes his frustration.
So it is Spengler in the book. Yellow card starting to rack up for both sides here. It's not been his dream night.
The fact that NYC has not kept a clean sheet in now 11 games, it just drives home where the problem is. They cannot defend as a unit. Forget the back line. Yes, it's shaky. It's a bridge you're going to fall off. But the whole team, Swiss cheese, too many holes.
Last clean sheet in league play came March 28th, a 2-0 victory over fellow League One expansion side Fort Wayne. It's the last time we've seen the Cosmos keep a clean slate. Ticking towards the final 15 minutes, it all seems academic, barring a colossal collapse. Forward Madison looks keen to set up that Spokane trip on national television in good form. They're still hunting more carnage, although this time the ball eludes the series of Mingos up top. Zelonka dances inside, plays it across, follow up in, beyond the reach of Wenzati. Now Spengler, Cabrera, towards Sidol, It falls nicely, still loose for Gwenzati, who does tuck it in, and there is a semblance of a lifeline here for the Cosmos.
Well, we made it clear that when forward Madison made their changes halfway through the second half, Cosmos started to get on the ball more often. Their confidence started to grow. Good ball in. And look at this cushion header by Sidol. Fantastic. And Gwenzati, a poacher of goals. 75 USL Championship goals. He's 9th all-time in that league. And he's showing you why. It is a skill in itself to poach. And he's the ultimate poacher.
It is a captain's goal, a 4th of the league season, and a 99th for his professional career. And it just knifes the deficit down. Double change now for the Cosmos as well. Milovanov and Tino Puentes enter. And it is Spengler and Darren Sidul who make way. Milovanov opened the year as a frequent presence in the 11. The last 5 games, though, on the subs bench, a product of Marquette University. He managed 8 goals in his final 2 seasons with the Golden Eagles. He replaces Sidul, and then Tino Puentes, who's played anywhere from fullback to the heart of midfield, is in as well. maybe that adds a layer of tension. There is still 13 minutes and change to play, and this opportunity gives us a chance to let you know that smart design, everyday comfort, fun to drive, and a price that makes sense at Zimbrick Volkswagen in Middleton.
Since Cabrera has come back to left back, they have that natural width now, Sam, that they can use on this near side, and that allows them to advance the ball.
It's given away cheaply, and a real chance here for Madison. That rockets off the outside of the post. Was Ngubu.
Well, playing out to the back is not an easy thing. The spacing has to be on point. And there you saw the yellow shirts too close together in the middle of the box. Enough for forward Madison to get a toe on it. That disrupts the bringing out to the back, and then it starts a counter press.
Galazzini racing forward for the Cosmos. Is there life for New York? Guenzati. Mendonca. Cross lacked the quality required.
Well, the ball is always going away from the Brazilian, and you have to hook it all the way back, even if you want to get the ball just to go in a straight trajectory.
Milovanov.
Nice.
Fuentes. Galazzini. Pressured heavily by Manjoma.
Excellent job by Galazzini. It doesn't pay off in the end, but he seems to have that drive and pace when he does get the ball on his favorite right foot. He was corralled there, but he does have that little step when he gets some momentum. That's very tricky for defenders.
Jauna. Cabrera. Much better second half for him. Jauna. He's looking for Guenzati. Not enough height on the ball.
Yeah, just doesn't have that technique or that skill or guile, Jonah.
This by far, though, Cosmos' best spell of the match, it seems. Cabrera. It's not a bad ball in. Really fell kindly for Milovanov. Another cross in from Galazzini. This time Harms pounces.
I tell you what, Cosmos look like a completely different team now. And Madison can't seem to get the ball in the middle of the park anymore. And Cosmos is winning the center circle. So the tide has now shifted where Cosmos has possession yet again. Right here is where they're losing it. Can't get their foot on it. Cosmos are ticking it around, and the players in the middle of the park don't seem to be as committed as the group before.
Jauna. Toure makes himself an obstacle. There's just no avenue out at the moment. Now finally a chance for respite with Bulma down. It's winning time, presented by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Scan the QR code on screen or visit FordMadisonFC.com/winning-time for your chance to win your favorite Ford Madison FC kit, $100 in rewards play, and $50 in food and beverage credit redeemable at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. One lucky winner will be chosen on the Monday after tonight's match. I think 49 will be in that number.
It should. It should be. But the Chick-fil-A uniforms tonight really struck a note. Fantastic.
Here's Manjoma. And Gubu.
Oh, good job, Galazzini.
He's had a great half since coming on.
Yeah, direct, engaged, brave.
Oh, there's some extracurriculars here.
Uh-oh.
And it's all popping off. Karamoko and Jordan Chavez, not the most pleasant of exchanges.
It's the tangling when they do hit the ground. I mean, some of these players are a little frustrated, especially Chavez, who's been chasing shadows tonight. Here it is again. Karamoko and Chavez hit the deck, and they're still just locked. Karamoko had his arm around Chavez's neck. Well, not his neck, his shoulder. And Chavez took exception. Well, there's the first rugby tackle. And both of them are guilty.
It's always interesting how a referee chooses to handle this. The yellow card's been brandished. Both were booked. So Karamoko and Chavez both cautioned.
I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, Chavez was guilty as well. And Karamoko may have been instigated, but Chavez certainly finished.
Got dangerously close to headlock territory there for a moment,
Yes,
though.
it did.
Either way, both on the pitch, and as of now, still 11 on 11, although there's a lot of players on yellow cards still active at the moment. Toure. Back to Chen. About 5 minutes now. Cosmos hunting an avenue back into this. It's 3-0 at one point. Sebastian Guenzati pulled one back in the 77th. Now another ball in. Falls for Milovanov.
Forward Madison has backpedaled to the point that they can't get out of their own half. It's going to take some skill from Ngubu to do that. But their shape and posture is too deep in their own half, and Ngubu is showing off his skill.
He's done half the battle here. Now
Beautiful.
pulls off the other half. Segbers. There's Boma onside there. Flag down for now. Cross in towards Ngubu.
Well,
half of the crowd thought it was in. It just goes wide.
when you're on top of the 6-yard box, you cannot miss. The keeper has to save. That's what any coach will tell you. Don't get fancy, put it on target. And Ngubu did the nod, good morning, which he's supposed to. That's perfect technique. But he nodded it straight into the advertising billboard.
Wrong side of the near post. Interesting note on Claudel Ngubu. Back before going to UCF for college, he played in the lower leagues of French football, and at one point played against PSG in the Coupe de France. Played against Kylian Mbappe in a match where Mbappe scored a hat trick. He's not the first person to be on the wrong side of a Kylian Mbappe hat trick.
Got a chance to call some games with Ngubu at the college level for UCF. Coach wasn't sure if he was a winger or a center forward. Started him out as a center forward, put him on the wing, and he thrived with space, like we saw in the play before.
He's played both as a center forward and a winger in his time at Madison. Jackals cross in. It's away for Ngubu, and now he has plenty of space to roam into. And plenty of numbers as well. Slips this in. Karamoko looking for an angle to shoot.
Oh.
And it's a tremendous save. The follow-up bashed over. It was a real chance to make it 4.
Well, Chan may have had a blunder, but he's had 2 blinders. One in the first half, and that one he digs it out with a strong right hand. At that point, the ball was already going wide. And no angle to finish, but Karamuku did everything right. Cut back on his left foot, good technique. 9 times out of 10, that would be in the back of the net. But Chan redeeming himself with that fantastic save to keep it a 3-1. After Cosmos was enjoying most of the momentum.
When you play that direct, that's the other side of it, right?
Yep. The Cows have been soaking up all the pressure in the last 20 minutes. And they just broke free.
At this point, Madison just trying to see this over the line. Second goal from the Cosmos would add a layer of discomfort many wouldn't have expected at halftime. Haven't shown many potential moments of breaking through with the exception of the Gwenzati goal. Milovanov. Mancini in for Jauna. Fuentes. Window closed on him. Jauna tucking it towards goal. And ultimately Harms does enough. Gwenzati was lingering.
Harm did a good job to see this ball come through traffic. Jonah's technique is incredible here though. His shot was not on, but he made it on. The ball was a little bit behind him, and he dug it out. Down into the corner, Harm did a great job anticipating it.
Now another switch of the play, this towards Zelanka. Segber's arguing it took a touch off the attacker. Doesn't seem to be an argument he'll win. And in the final minute of the 90, Cosmos still press on.
But what about the soccer match behind the stadium now? Just take a quick look.
Cabrera. Your word that would be a moderate amount of stoppage time. Holtz. Well, our stoppage time is brought to you by Just Coffee Co-op. Appears to be just 4 minutes that separate us from full time. And at this point, a Madison victory looks increasingly likely by the second.
Well, Harm doing the right thing, not taking any chances, playing out at the back. Just go wide, go long.
Fuentes, Milovanov, Gwenzati getting more involved in the second half. Cabrera. Zelanka. New York Cosmos staring at a 6th consecutive league defeat in the face, barring a monstrous comeback. I've scored twice in 2 minutes before. That came in the last meeting with Madison, but it didn't come this late. In-swinging cross, falls for Zelanka, who does shoot it goalward, and it rolls beyond Harms's far post.
Well, everything has to be perfect when you're down 2 goals. Give Mendonca credit. He read the second ball when the ball came out of the crowd. Just didn't find the final product out. And the Flamingos is wearing the cow shirt. That's impressive.
He's having fun.
Do we call it a flow or a camingo?
I like the latter.
Cowmingo?
Yeah, it sounds a little...
Yeah.
It reveals what the essence of the animal a bit more,
yes,
I think.
A cowmingo. Maybe we should call National Geographic and let them know. There's a cow mango in Madison walking around.
And in the final 90 seconds of the added 4 minutes. And the flock end celebrating with the cow mingo, whatever you've dubbed it.
National Geographic, here we come.
Castro.
Oof.
Bolmot. Can Madison wrap it up in style? And Gubu certainly hopes so, but he may have been offside. And that he was.
And Gubu's first touch, he's looking at the linesman, but he didn't know that touch was disastrous. Madison were playing possum, allowing Cosmos to come onto them. Some vicious tackles broke it up. And now they're trying to find that space over the top.
Gubu's after this again. That ball was broken up. And this is Cosmos' last gasp. It's one that goes out with a whimper. More numbers for Madison. Plenty of options. Karamoko goes at it alone. This time doesn't put it on frame.
Holt covered the angle, but I thought he backed up a little too much. If Carmango found any angle to shoot, he'd been right on top of Chan.
Gwenzati, the lone goal scorer for the Cosmos tonight. Scored his first goal since May 15th in all comps. It came in Cosmos' last victory in all comps, which was against Westchester in the Prinks Cup. Scored twice in the final 10 minutes to win it. Then Donka, beyond the added 4. Much needed block from Segbers, and that does the job. Forward Madison reels off 3 unanswered goals to open things under the tutelage of acting head coach Patrick Nyako, and without Matt Glazer tonight, they see it out for a 3-1 triumph.
Too little too late for New York Cosmos. Got really disjointed halfway through the first half and they paid the price. But I tell you what, Nyako made a very defensive move in changing their posture and their formation. They allowed Cosmos to get back in the game. Yes, they saw it through, but it certainly allowed Cosmos some chances coming on towards the end.
Well, it is now time to get a look at tonight's play of the match, which is presented by Dairyland Insurance. Take a look at the standout moment.
Well, Torres began the move and finished it, but Cosmos did not stay with their runners, and Torres made them pay with a fantastic scissors kick.
It was a goal for the cameras, and it was a goal that provided a multi-goal cushion that Madison never let slip. That the second goal in 3 minutes that defined the tenor of the first half. Ramon Torres on the score sheet for the second time. And our man of the match, presented by Bayer Insurance, unsurprisingly is Ramon Torres. A tremendous performance in the heart of midfield for him.
Not only did he score today, but he pulled the strings as well. He gave them tempo in the middle of the park in the center circle. He directed where the ball went. And that is more important than anything else for a coach when they do have possession.
That is where things finish. A 3-1 victory for Forward Madison. The Mingos get off to a 3-0 start and see it out from there. Josh Bulma and company saw it out from there. Our full-time score presented by Rhyme. When we return, a look back at our highlights.
Welcome to Madison, Wisconsin.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a
a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health. Remarkable.
Welcome back to Breese Stevens Field, where it is a party in the Midwest. Ford Madison 3-1 victors over New York Cosmos to move into the top 8 of the USL League One table. Our full-time score is presented by Rhyme, and now it's time for our full-time highlights presented by Just Coffee Co-op. A fast start for Madison around the midway point of the first half, and they saw things out from there.
Yeah, the focus was there for the Cosmos. So too Chan, the new keeper, Spengler with a fantastic effort on half with the save of the match. Top corner, he got there and got a strong hand to it as well.
That was our save of the match presented by the Johnson Financial Group, and then the opening goal off a set piece.
Couldn't break down the Cosmos in open play. Carmichael showing up. Cosmos losing concentration on the corner kick. Carmichael making them pay and give them a valuable 1-0 lead that sets the table for the rest of the match.
3 minutes later, the second from Ramon Torres.
And now Comfort with a 1-0 lead. They start to play short passes. Cosmos don't steal the runners. It's an ongoing thing for them this season. And look at Torres, who begins, and then a spectacular finish to give them that 2-goal cushion. And now they're rolling.
The second league goal of the season for the former Minnesota United man. And then in the second half, things went from bad to worse for the visitors.
Well, they came out to the locker room full of pizzazz, and their body language was great. But this one move here, Carmichael again. Look at this follow-up by Castro, and Chan with a howler goes right between the wickets. And it ends up being 3-0 to Madison. The story of the season so far for Cosmos. But you have to give Ford Madison for the positive play and Castro's technique.
There was late consolation in the form of Sebastian Guenzati. That at least provided some late intrigue for us, but ultimately not enough for the Cosmos.
Coach Nyarko put his team in a defensive posture. Cosmos said, thank you very much. We'll take it from here. And Guenzati, the poacher, number 9, right place at the right time. The fox in the box.
It was Guenzati's 4th league goal of the season, his 99th of his professional career, but ultimately comes up in a losing effort. Let's get a look at our full-time stats, which are presented by Rhyme. All of them virtually favor the home side.
Well, the possession count at halftime was up to 68. Now it's down to 54 because Cosmos got that fair share of possession that they earned from the halfway through the second half going forward. But I tell you what, 17 shots towards the goal of Chan is just unthinkable. And the coaches have to do better. But Coach Corti has that Milan pedigree, that Milan tradition. He's going to show up this defense, and this entire team is going to be humming defensively next season.
We will see how things shape up for the Cosmos for the remainder of the year. That is where we will leave things from Madison. A dominant display from Ford Madison. 3 unanswered goals in the opening 50 minutes allows them to cruise to another 3 points in league play. For our tremendous crew and my broadcast partner Ryan Davis, I'm Sam Goldfarb saying so long from Breese Stevens Field, where Madison wins 3-1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.